The National Electrical Code, or NEC, does not specify the volume of plaster rings. Instead, the volume of a plaster ring is typically provided by the manufacturer. You should always refer to the manufacturer's specifications for the specific plaster ring you are using. To elaborate, the NEC provides requirements for boxes, including minimum box fill calculations. However, the NEC does not include a table or formula for determining the volume of specific plaster rings. The NEC does define box fill requirements to ensure there is sufficient space within an electrical box for conductors, devices, and any necessary fittings. The box fill calculation involves adding up the total volume occupied by conductors, device yokes, and any internal clamps or supports. This total volume must not exceed the marked volume of the box. The volume of the box is marked by the manufacturer and the box itself. The NEC specifies the number of conductors permitted in standard boxes based on the box size, wire size, and the number of devices installed in the box. For example, NEC Table 314.16a provides the maximum number of conductors permitted in metal boxes, while Table 314.16b provides the same information for non-metallic boxes. The conductor fill calculation takes into account the number of conductors, the size of the conductors, and any equipment grounding conductors present in the box. Each conductor size is assigned a specific volume based on NEC Table 314.16b. For example, a number 14 American wire gauge conductor has a volume of 2.0 cubic inches. A number 12 American wire gauge conductor has a volume of 2.25 cubic inches. A number 10 American wire gauge conductor has a volume of 2.50 cubic inches. A number 8 American wire gauge conductor has a volume of 3.0 cubic inches. And a number 6 American wire gauge conductor has a volume of 5.0 cubic inches. The device fill calculation accounts for devices such as switches, receptacles, or other equipment installed in the box. For each device, twice the volume allowance for the largest conductor connected to the device is added to the box fill calculation, as per NEC 314.16b4. For example, if a device has number 12 American wire gauge conductors connected to it, then 4.50 cubic inches, or 2.25 cubic inches times 2, is added to the box fill calculation for that device. Internal clamps and supports also contribute to the box fill calculation. If the box contains internal cable clamps or supports, a volume allowance equal to the largest conductor entering the box is added to the calculation, as per NEC 314.16b5. For example, if the largest conductor entering the box is number 12 American wire gauge, then 2.25 cubic inches is added to the box fill calculation. Because the NEC does not define the volume of plaster rings, it is essential to refer to the manufacturer's documentation or markings on the plaster ring itself to determine its volume. This information is necessary to ensure that the box fill calculation is accurate and that the installation complies with NEC requirements. Plaster rings, also known as mud rings or extension rings, are used to extend the box forward to be flush with the finished wall surface, particularly when the electrical box is recessed too far into the wall cavity. They are commonly used with plaster or drywall installations. The volume of a plaster ring refers to the amount of space it adds to the existing electrical box. This volume is crucial when calculating the total box fill to ensure that the conductors, devices, and other components can be properly accommodated within the box without exceeding the NEC fill requirements. If the volume of the plaster ring is not considered, the box may become overcrowded, leading to potential hazards such as overheating, insulation damage, and electrical failures. The NEC requires that all electrical boxes have sufficient volume to accommodate the conductors, devices, and fittings installed within them. This requirement is outlined in NEC Section 314.16, which provides detailed guidelines for calculating box fill. While the NEC does not specify the volume of plaster rings, it is essential to include the plaster rings volume when performing the box fill calculation. The manufacturer typically provides the volume of the plaster ring. If the volume is not marked on the plaster ring or provided in the manufacturer's documentation, it may be necessary to contact the manufacturer directly or use a reliable estimation method to determine the volume. An estimation method might involve measuring the internal dimensions of the plaster ring and calculating its approximate volume. However, this method should be used with caution, as it may not be as accurate as the manufacturer's specifications. To ensure compliance with the NEC and to maintain electrical safety, always obtain the volume of the plaster ring from the manufacturer and include it in the box fill calculation. Ignoring the volume of the plaster ring can lead to code violations and potentially hazardous conditions. In summary, the NEC does not provide specific volume information for plaster rings. The volume of a plaster ring is determined by the manufacturer, and this value should be used to calculate the box fill to comply with NEC requirements and ensure electrical safety. Remember that proper box fill is critical for preventing electrical hazards and ensuring the reliable operation of electrical systems. Always consult the latest edition of the NEC and the manufacturer's specifications for the most accurate and up-to-date information.